So as we have discussed in the previous lecture is a classification of integrals, in which we have discussed regarding the complete integrals, general integral, singular integral, and the special integral. So complete integral, if you want to have a differential equation, z is equal to f of xy, sorry, if the differential equation is f of xyz pq equal to 0, if its solution has z is equal to capital F of xy ab, which is a two parameter family of the surfaces. If you want to say that this is the complete integral, if this matrix f of fa, fxa, fya, fb, fxb, and fyb, if this matrix of order is of rank 2, then we can say that this differential this solution is the complete integral for this differential equation, first order differential equation. General solution means you can have express your b, it is as a function of a, that means it is a one parameter family of the surfaces you will have, that is known as complete integral. And if you have particular values of a, if you substitute there, then different values of this b will gives me a particular solution, or I can say integrals. If you can able to find out both this parameter a and b in terms of x, the value you will get in terms of x, that is known as singular integral, and all sort of things we have discussed into the previous lecture. Also we have say that the special integral which is not come into the any of these three, that is known as a special integral. Now by knowing the type of solutions, or I can say integrals, now the interesting fact that how to obtain a solution of equation, partial differential equation. So in the first one, we are dealing with the linear equation. Linear equation of the first order. As we have already mentioned, or we have already defined a linear equation of the first order into the previous one of the video, where we have talking about this quasi-linear equation and how to find out the general solution for the quasi-linear equation. So what is the equation we known as a quasi-linear equation? The definition of the quasi-linear equation, if you can recall, that a PD is said to be quasi-linear if its derivative of highest order which occur in an equation are linear. So that means the form of a quasi-linear equation is this: P of xyz into P. So it is a P is the derivative, and P, this capital P is a function of xyz. Q of xyz into Q is equal to R of xyz. So this is known as a quasi-linear equation. Okay, now here In today's lecture, we are going to discuss regarding how to solve this quasi-linear equation. And we'll starting with the theorem. And this theorem tells you that what should be the solution, or what will be the two linearly independent solutions for this type of quasi-linear equation. So the general solution now, what does it mean of a general solution? You should know, because we have already discussed that thing in my previous video. The quasi linear equation, that is capital P of xyz into small p, q of xyz into small q is equal to r of xyz, where this p, q and r are continuously differentiable function of x, y and z, and they are not vanishes simultaneously. That means, so I should say with x square plus y square plus z square is not equal to 0. That means all of them will not be 0. So we are not talking about the 0 point. So what I'm taking is general solution of this quasi-linear equation is capital F of uv equal to 0, where this capital F is an arbitrary function, is arbitrary differentiable function of u and v, and this u of xyz equal to c1 and v of xyz equal to c2. They are the two families of surface. Is the independent solution are independent solution of the system, that is dx upon p of xyz dy upon q of xyz equal to dz upon r of xyz. So it says that if you want to find out the solution, the general solution of this quasi-linear equation, then the general solution of the quasi-linear equation is this f of uv. And how you can obtain the f of uv? By solving this system of equations, that is the last one. So if I call this is the first equation, that is our quasi-linear equation. The second equation that I'm taking as a solution, this is my third equation. That means this u of u is equal to constant and v equal to constant. That is the third equation we have. So this is the third equation, and this one is my fourth equation. Now they are the two linear equations. So here we should write one note that u of xyz equal to c1 is the solution of the system 4 if it is, if at every point at every point on the surface. So what is this? In general, this u of xyz is equal to constant represent the surface. The tangent plane at that point contains the line through that point with the direction ratio PQR. So what is the situation you have? This is the surface. This surface which we are talking about, that is u equal to constant. And whatever the tangent plays at some point is here. So there is a tangent plane on this surface. On this tangent plane, there is one line, tangent line, I can say, which having the direction ratio PQR. And observe that, and this u equal to constant and v equal to constant are called the characteristic curves. Okay, so observe that the infor being system of ordinary differential equations. Because you just observe that this will contains d of dx upon p of xyz, dy upon q of xy. So this is a system of ordinary differential equation is there. For example, any system of dy by dx something is there, then the solution of this system of ordinary differential equation will be actually a curve. Okay, so its solution is actually a curve. The curve is nothing but the intersection of these two surfaces, that is u equal to constant and v equal to constant, because we know that the intersection of the two surfaces will gives you one curve, and the line through each point of the curve with the direction ratio PQR is actually a tangent the tangent to the curve at that point. And these curves are called the characteristic curves. So it is actually a definition of characteristic curves. Of the PDE 1. That means the quasi-linear equation which we have written, right? And we'll discuss the more about this characteristic curves later on when we'll discussing about the another type of this when we are discussing regarding the some differential partial order differential equation. And sometimes this system u equal to constant, v equal to constant, then you have a solution will be f of u equal to 0. Sometimes this solution is also can be written as v equal to g of u, where g is arbitrary differentiable function of u. So you should write that sometimes the equation 2 is written as v equal to g of u, where this g is not continuously, but it is arbitrary differentiable function of u. Okay, now let us talk about the proof for this statement that we have written. So what we have understood from this discussion is that this partial quasi-linear partially differentiable function, that means this quasi-linear equation will have this type of solution f of uv. And how you will get this u and v? By solving this system of ordinary differential equation. And obviously this system of ordinary differential equation will have some curve, because the solution of ordinary differential equation is a curve. And what is this curve? This curve is actually an intersection of these two surfaces. You have two surfaces here, and the intersection of these two surfaces is the curve which we have a solution for that. And that curve is known as a characteristic curve whose direction ratio tangent at that point is the direction ratio is PQR. So that is the situation we have here. Now we're discussing the proof for this theorem. So what is given is u of xyz equal to constant is the solution of equation 1. Since it is a solution of equation 1, it will satisfy the equation 1. Since it is the solution of the equation 1, it will satisfy the equation 1. What is the equation 1 we have? The equation 1 is capital P into small p plus capital Q into small q equal to R. This is our equation, quasi-linear equation. Now what is P here? P is the function Z. So here what we are saying is U is a function of xyz, which will be a solution. That means it will satisfy this differential equation. That means we have P into ux. P is represented del z by del x. That is my value of P. And the value of Q is del z by del y. So this function U is satisfying this. So that's why it is P into ux. Q into uy is equal to plus R into uz equal to 0. It should satisfy. Similarly, V is the solution. of equation 4? Is the solution of 4. We have P into Vx plus Q into Vy plus R into Vz equal to 0. Now we have two linear equations. Let's say this is equation 5 and this is 6. These are the two linear equation in terms of PQR. And to solving this linear equation, we'll use the Cramer's rule. If you have recall that, so it is kind of the things is a1x plus b1y plus c1z equal to 0, a2x plus b2y plus c2z equal to 0. Then it is written as a1 upon b1 c1 b2 c2 equal to y upon minus y upon a1 c1 a2 c2 by eliminating this b1, and equal to z upon a1 b1 a2 b2 by eliminating this. So that is the way you usually do when you have two linear equations are here. So here we need to solve this two linear equations. Okay, so therefore solving this equations for PQR, we have P upon determinant of uy, uz, vy, vz. So it is uy, uz, vy, vz equal to minus q upon ux, uy, vx, sorry, ux, uz, vx, vz. That is ux, uz, vx, vz equal to r upon, you will have ux, uy, vx, vy. Now this quantity, that is well known things as a Jacobian, that is u del uv upon del xy. The Jacobian is defined, we know that it is ux, vx, sorry, ux, uy, vx, vy. So as per this, the Jacobian will write this as p upon del u v upon del yz. This is q upon del uv. Actually it is del xz, but due to this minus sign I will write that zx equal to r upon del uv upon del xy. So therefore we'll have this, and this is possible because they are the independent. This is possible because of the fact that u equal to constant and v equal to constant are independent. Now this relation, that is this relation, it leads to that gives my, that means I need to have, now looking at the situation, is we also have this f of uv equal to 0. This we have here. And if I want to eliminate this f of uv from this, and these things we already did it in previously also. So on differentiating, f of uv equal to constant 0 with respect to x and y, treating z as a function of x and y. So the situation we get, what is the situation you have? The f is a function of uv, and u and v are the function of three variable x, y, and z. But z is a function of two variable x and y. So you have this type of situation. So if I want to differentiate this f with respect to x, you have to go via three paths. The first one is this, then you can go with this path, and the third one in this, for this one it is this two. Okay, so what you will have here, it is del f by del u into del u by del x plus del f by del v into del v by del x equal to 0. But del u by del x is only at this path, so that is not the things you will have here. You should have the things that del u by del x plus you have to go via this path is also, that means it is del u by del z and del z by del x. Similarly here also you will have the things, that is del u by del del v by del x plus del v by del z into del z by del x. We have did this in previous one of the video also, same thing. Now what will be this del z by del x? Del z by del x, we know it is p. So this is p. So we'll have therefore del z by del u, and this we can write as ux plus uz p plus del f by del v into vx plus vz p equal to 0. Similarly, when you do with respect to y, then you will have del f upon del u uy plus uz into p plus del f upon del v into vy. This is not p, it is actually q, because now it is del z by del y. So it is q plus vz into q equal to 0. Now this is the star equation and the double star equation. Now we have to solve. We need to eliminate this f, del f by del u and del f by del v from this. So I am eliminating del f upon del u and del f upon del v. From this equations, we obtain what we will obtain. That is the determinant of, as I discussed earlier also, a1x plus b1y equal to 0, a2x plus b2y equal to 0. Then it will have a1, b1, a2, b2 is equal to 0. This is the things we got. So that's why this will gives me, this is my a1, this is b1, this is a2, this will be b2. So that's why this will gives me ux plus p into uz, vx plus p into vz, uy plus q into uz, vy plus q into vz equal to 0. And if you simplify this one, then you will have ux plus p uz, vy plus q vz minus vx plus p vz into uy plus q uz equal to 0. Further you simplify this, you will have ux vy plus q into ux vz, then it is plus p into uz vy plus pq into uz vz. Now all the terms which have negative sign because of this negative will gives you vx uy minus q into vx uz minus p into vz uy minus pq into uz vz equal to 0. And you just observe that this quantity will get cancelled out. What the quantity left? We'll take this two quantity on this side, that is ux vy minus vx uy, and from this two will common out p and take it on the other side. So that's why it is small p into vz uy minus uz vy. Here also we do the same thing. Q is common out and take it on the other side. So this will become plus vx uz minus uxvz. Now if we can write down this quantity in the terms of Jacobian, then you will have, this is del u by del v, sorry, del uv by del xy equal to p into del uv by del yz plus q into del uv by del zx. So this is the quantity you will have here. Now we'll substitute the value of this, what we have here earlier. It was, so if I can call, this is the equation number 7, and the last equation we got, it's 8. So if I substitute from 7 into 8, then what we get? So if I can have, this is my 8 number. So on substituting, from 7 into 8, that means what is del u by del v? If I can say, see, if I can say this is equal to some constant k, If I can say this is my rough work that I'm doing here. If I can say this is some constant k, then what will be the value of p you will have? It will gives me k into this del u del uv upon del yz. Q equal to del v upon del zx and r equal to k into del v upon del xy. So if you can put that values into the equation number 8, then you will have small p into, so you can have this value is nothing but the k into r. This will be the second one, you will have it is k into p into capital P, and the last one is you have k into q into capital Q, and k get cancelled from the both side, so that will leads to this. That is what you will have, it is small p into capital P plus small q into capital Q equal to R. This is the things we got by substituting. We get this. And is the, we said we see this, okay, and therefore we see that capital F of uv equal to 0 is the solution of this equation, capital P q into small q equal to R. If u equal to C1 and v equal to C2 are independent solution of the equation that we have dx upon P, dy upon Q and dz upon R. So ultimately, if you want to calculate the solution of this equation, or then you can have to find out two solution of this. Let us solve certain example based on this. Might be this type of things you have did it in your graduation also. So the question is, find the general solution of x into p, y into q equal to z. So this is known as auxiliary equations. The auxiliary equation are dx upon p equal to dy upon q equal to dz upon r. So if I compare this equation with comparing the given equation with capital P into small p, capital Q into small q equal to R. So we will have P equal to x, Q equal to y, and R equal to z. We'll substitute that value P, Q, R here. So therefore we can have dx upon x, dy upon y equal to dz upon z. Now this is a system of ordinary system of linear equations. We have to solve that. So I will compare this two and we'll get one solution. We'll compare this two, we'll get another solution. That will be u and v. So now dx upon x is equal to dy upon y implies, if I take integration both side, ln of x is equal to ln of y plus ln of c1. So that will leads to ln of x upon y is equal to ln of c1. If I take this ln of y on the other side, so that will leads to x by y is equal to c1. This is the first solution, and if I call this is as u, so u is x by y. And for the other equation, that is dy by y equal to dz by z, which we have another equation here, that is this two. So that will implies that by taking integration both side, ln y equal to ln z. So that will gives me y by z equal to constant, as we have did it here. So this C1 is already used, so I say this C2. This is plus ln C2. And we can say it is V. So therefore, the general solution is, as you know, the general solution can be written as capital F of uv equal to 0, where u we have calculated. So that is capital U is we have x by y, and v we got y by z equal to 0, where this f is arbitrary differentiable function. As I told you that this function is also, or this solution is also right in another form. If you want to write down the another form of the general integral is z is equal to y, or I can say v equal to g of u, but v is z by y equal to g of x by y. So that's why it is z equal to y into g of x by y, where g is continuously differentiable function of x by y. So where g is arbitrary differentiable function is there. Let's solve the another example. Second one. Find the general solution of yz into p plus xz into q equal to xy. So here comparing the given equation with capital P into small p, capital Q into small q equal to R, we get, first of all, you should note that this is a quasi-linear equation, okay, where capital P is a function of x, y, z, Q is a function of x, y, z, and R is also a function of x, y. So we get P equal to yz, Q equal to xz, and R is equal to xy. You just check. That is the things we have. Now the auxiliary equation. R, dx upon P equal to dy upon Q, dz upon R. That means it is dx upon yz, dy upon xz equal to dz upon xy. Here also you can compare two, this two and this two will leads to the two solution. Ultimately, we have to obtain two solution. That is, now dx upon yz equal to dy upon xz, will this z will get cancelled out. So this will gives me x into dx equal to y into dy. Taking integration, we'll have x square by 2 equal to y square by 2 plus I can say c1 square by 2. So that's why this will gives you x square minus y square equal to c1. If I cancel out 2, why we have divide 2, this is a constant term, so I can adjust that quantity here. So this is my u function. and dy upon you have xz equal to dz upon xy. You just note that this x is cancelled out. That's why it is dy y into dy equal to z into dz. Taking integration both sides, we'll have y square by 2 equal to z square by 2 plus c2 square by 2. Again, by adjusting this c2 here. So this will gives me y square minus z square is equal to c2. And that leads to the answer. This is my v. So therefore, the general solution or I can say general integral is f of u v equal to 0. But what is u? It is x square minus y square. And what is v? It is z square minus y square equal to 0. Or if you want, you can just write down v equal to g of u. This is also way is to write down. But what is v? It is z square minus y square equal to g of x square minus y square. So this is the solution, or you can write this is as a solution, where g and f are arbitrary differentiable function. Okay, let's say solve the another example. So find the general solution of x into y square minus z square into p plus y into, not plus but minus, y into z square plus x square into q equal to x square plus y square into z. Now we have to write down what is PQR. Now I'm not writing in the detail. It is obviously this is the value of P, this is the Q, and this one is the value of R. So I'm just writing directly now the auxiliary equations. So the auxiliary equation are dx upon x into y square minus z square equal to dy upon minus of y into z square plus x square equal to dz upon z into x square plus y square. So till now what we are doing is we are just comparing two of this equation and we got in the solution, but that will not happen in this example. So you have to use some different technique to dealing with this. So here users note that if I add this dx plus dy plus dz, then the denominator will have a 0. No, that is also not be done. So what will happen is if I multiply by x here, y to the second equation and z to the third equation, and add them. So this is x square y square minus x square z square. If I multiply the second equation by y and it is of negative sign, so it is minus y square z square y square x square. Here I'm multiplying z, so that's why it is z square x square plus z square y square. And just note that this is cancelled out, this one is cancelled, and this quantity is also cancelled. And if I can say this is equal to dz upon z x square plus y square, then in the denominator you have dx x into dx y into dy plus z into dz upon 0 equal to dz upon z into x square plus y square. So this quantity, if you multiply z 0 here, this side, then that will be 0. So you have therefore x into dx plus y into dy plus z into dz is 0. Now if you take the integration both sides, you will have x square by 2, y square by 2, z square by 2 equal to c1 square by 2. And that 2 is cancelling out from both sides. So we'll have x square plus y square plus z square equal to c1 square. That is the first solution. I can say this is u. Now to get the another solution, these are the auxiliary equation we have. You just observe this first and second one. What is happening is if you can take this dx upon x and dy upon y will leads to something. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking dx upon x minus dy upon y. What we will have? Dx upon x will have y square minus z square, and dy upon y will gives me minus of z square minus x square. So it is gives me minus z square minus, sorry, this is minus, so it is minus minus plus x z square plus x square. So this will get cancelled. So it is in terms of y square plus z square. And so this is gives me dx upon x minus dy upon y upon x square plus y square. What you have here in terms of z, you just observe that this is also of the same type. That is dz upon z is x square plus y square. So that I may write equal to dz upon z into x square plus y square, and that get cancelled out. So what we have, it is dx upon x minus dy upon y equal to dz upon z. So if I take integration now, it will give me ln of x minus ln of y equal to ln of z plus ln of c2. So that's why this will give me x upon y equal to z into c2. Yz equal to c2. So that is the function we do. Therefore, the general solution is capital F of uv equal to 0, which implies capital U we have calculated, it is x square plus y square plus z square. And v is this x upon y by z equal to 0. Or you have u equal to v equal to g of u. The v is x upon yz, that is equal to g of x square plus y square plus z square. Any one of them you can write as a solution, where this f and g are arbitrary differentiable function. Let us have the third example. The question is find the general solution of zt plus z into zx is equal to 0, and verify that it is satisfies the equation. That means whatever the solution we got, it should satisfy this. Now here slightly change is given. Here there are variables. It is not the variable x, y, and z. Here the variable are x, t, and z. These are the three variables. Instead of y, we have given t. So you can just see that first variable is t here. So the auxiliary equation we have are dt upon whatever the coefficient of zt is 1 equal to dx upon z and dz upon 0, because on this side it is 0. Now we have to solve this one. So first dz upon 0 is there. So dz upon 0 equal to, I can take any of this, let's say it is dx upon z, will implies that dz is 0. This will imply that z is constant. Let's say c1. This is my u. Now for the second equation, that means I need to calculate now what is the second one. So to get the second one, you substitute this value of z is equal to c1 into this by comparing this two. That means we have now we have dt upon 1 equal to dx upon t, sorry, dx upon z. Now z equal to c1, we got one value, so we substitute that. That will implies dt upon 1 equal to dz upon c1. So that will, if I integrate now both sides, so it will lead to t equal to x upon c1 plus c2. Or if you want to simplify in the simpler manner, instead of this, you just multiply c1 to this equation. It will lead to this one. And hence this will give you c1 into t equal to x plus c2. So instead of that, you just have also this one. Now again you substitute the value of c1 from this. That means you have first you have substituted the value of z as a c1. Now you substitute the value of c1 as z. So therefore the second equation what you have, it is z into t equal to x plus c2. So your u, or sorry, v is zt minus x is equal to c2. This is my second function. So the general solution is capital F of uv equal to 0, will leads to f of u is we have z, and v we have this zt minus x is equal to 0. Or another way is to write this v equal to g of u, or u equal to z of v, whatever way you just write, that is also fine. So zt minus x is equal to g of z. Now the question is this is the solution. The another question is to verify that whatever the solution we got, it is the satisfying this equation. That means here I have, this is the solution, that is f of z into zt minus x is equal to 0 is the solution. So we need to calculate what is zt and what is z. So differentiating with respect to x and t, we get. So first let's say differentiate this with respect to x. Then what we'll have? Then we will have it is, so it is a f is a function of two variable, u and v. And u and v are the functions of three variable x, y, z. Z is a function of, it is x and t here. So this is the situation you have. So it is del f by del u. Okay, del f by del u in bracket del u by del x. So that will be three ways. First, it is del u by del x plus del z by del x. Sorry, del u by del z into del z by del x plus del f by del v, del v by del x plus del v by del z into del z by del x is equal to 0. But what is u? U is here z. So derivative of z with respect to x will give me 0. So that is del f upon del u into 0 plus del u upon del z is 1. This is my value p, that is zx, plus del f upon del v. Del v by del x, the derivative of this with respect to x will give me minus 1, plus del v by del z, a derivative of this with respect to z will give me t, into del z by del x. Del z by del x is zx equal to 0. So therefore you will have is zx into del f upon del u plus del f upon del v into t into z x minus 1 equal to 0. So if I want to calculate what is zx from this, you just make it, you can solve for zx, that is del f upon del u plus t into del f upon del v, this is del v, and minus, so I can say it is equal to del f upon del v. So zx is this del f upon del v upon del f upon del u plus t into del f upon del v. Now the second, so this is with respect to x, we have this. If I do with respect to y, sorry, t, so del f upon del u, as we have here with this, whenever x is there, we have t there. So it is del u by del t plus del u by del z into del z by del t plus del f upon del v, del u by del t plus del v by del z into del z by del t equal to 0. What is del u by? So this is del f upon del u. U, we have this function, is this z. U is z. So let me write u is z here. And v is zt minus x. So u is z. So that's why it is 0, the derivative with respect to t, plus u with respect to z will gives me 1. This is zt plus del f upon del v. V with respect to t will gives me z plus v with respect to z will gives me t. This is zt equal to 0. You solve this for zt. So zt into del f upon del u plus t into del f upon del v. Take the other side, that is z into del f upon del v. So finally zt you will have is this. minus z into del f upon del v upon del f upon del u plus t into del f upon del v. Now we need to satisfy our equation. That is zx we have, zt we have. What is our equation? The equation was zt plus z into zx is equal to 0. This we need to verify. So we have zt plus z into zx. This I need to prove this is 0. So what is zt? Zt is this that we have obtained here, minus z into fv upon fu plus t into fv plus z. Z is this, zx is fv upon fu plus t into fv. So that is fu plus t into fv. And you just observe that this quantity is 0. So that means it can be verified. So it is verified that this is the solution for the given equation. Now in the similar way, you can have lots of other examples. You can now able to solve. So there are basically these 3 types of technique which I have explained you. Let's solve this one. Yz plus p plus xz q equal to x plus y. So this is, the question is again saying to find the general solution of this. So the auxiliary equation, now I'm not writing that in detail. So the auxiliary equation is dx upon dy, this yz, dy upon xz equal to dz upon x plus y. You just observe that if you compare this two, then z will get cancelled. So it is dx upon y equal to dy upon x. You will have, so this gives me x into dx is equal to y into dy. So that will lead to x square minus y square is equal to c1. Okay, and if you add this two, the first two, if you add this, so we will have dx plus dy. What you will have, z is common out from the denominator, z into x plus y you will have, and on the other side you have x plus y. So this x plus y is get cancelled. So finally you will have dx plus dy equal to z into dz. If you integrate this one, you will have x plus y equal to z square plus c2. So that's why it is the function you will have, it is this. So final answer, that means the general solution is f of uv equal to 0. That is f of u is this x square minus y square, and v is x plus y minus z square equal to 0. So these are the way you can dealing with this type of example. And also this theorem which we have discussed is valid for not only 2 variable, it's also valid for n variable. That means you have a differential equation of this type, p1 del z by del x1, p2 del z by del x2 up to so on, pn del z by del xn equal to some r. Then the solution of this one you may write as phi of u1 u2 up to un equal to 0, where this u1 u2 up to un are the solution of this auxiliary equation, that is x1 upon p1, x2 upon p2 up to so on xn upon pn. So these are the system of system of ordinary differential equations. That the solution of this system of ordinary differential equation is u1 is constant, u2 is constant, up to un is constant. So what I mean to say is the quasi-linear equation in more than one variable, if it is there, then the same technique will be used to dealing with this. Okay, that's it for this lecture. If you have any question, you can ask.